They have the scoop and they're ready to go. It's the generic theme park new show. Beautiful. All right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And PerGron.
And yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like the more I go with the generic theme park news show, the more I like that title. I think it fits my sense of humor quite well.
I like that it has a theme song that's
Oh,
sung
it definitely
live.
has a theme song.
I love the live performance aspect of it. I think that's really fun.
All right. So I have decided with the generic theme park news show, we're not really going to force topics to talk about, but when stuff like this comes out, I mean, I feel like we almost have to talk about it. I feel like it's almost a given. Like this is big news, PerGron. It's big news.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know about it until 10 minutes ago, but yeah,
That's really funny.
I was pretty I was pretty surprised by all of this myself.
So yeah, we were gonna do a Bones and All podcast because you and I are big horror fans, and you hate Bones and All, and I love it. So that would have been an interesting conversation, and we can still do it. But I was like, wait a minute, it's probably gonna look really weird if the Imagineering channel does not talk about this big news that just dropped, and instead talks about this obscure teen cannibalism romance movie.
Yeah, we can talk about cannibalism at a later date. This
Indeed.
is a little more important.
All right, so I'm just gonna just go to what's your first reaction upon hearing the news?
I think my immediate reaction upon reading it all was that's weird.
All right,
I
we should probably say what the news is,
yeah,
just to clarify. Okay, so Universal Studios, they are expanding their reach, folks. They are designing and building a theme park in Texas in the Austin area, not Austin itself, but kind of a suburb of Austin. Uh, that's going to be centered around a younger audience. I hear that it's going to be kind of on the same scale as a Legoland or a Sesame Place, but I mean, from the looks of the concept art, it very much looks like something that I would be interested in going to. I mean, it definitely looks like they have some pretty solid theme. I would be surprised if there weren't at least a couple really good dark rides in the mix here.
yeah. I mean, I saw Jurassic Park, and that's kind of where my recognition of all of it shows ends. But
And
it's colorful.
then the other news item to talk about. This probably won't be as long to talk about it, but I am definitely excited about it. Like I'm so excited about this that I think it is going to be the thing that gets me out to Vegas. It's that Universal is designing a year-round Halloween Horror Night style attraction for Vegas.
Yeah, I mean that I think is the more exciting of the two.
Oh, really? You think that's the more exciting of the two?
For me personally, I mean, I can definitely see where a park might be the more
I
exciting.
would I would agree that for me personally, it's probably the more exciting because it's definitely like for me something to plan a trip around. Whereas I don't necessarily know if I'd plan a whole trip around this Texas park, and I don't know. I'm not quite sure how close Austin is to San Antonio. I don't think it's that close, and that's the problem. If I'm going to Texas, I'm going to be going to San Antonio first and foremost for the two obvious parks there. But let's talk about Halloween Horror Nights first, and just kind of like maybe build to the bigger park. So yeah, I've never been to Vegas. I do have a pretty good friend who lives in Vegas, an online friend. I've never met up with him in person, so I've definitely that along with his crippling gambling addiction. Jokers, I swear to God, I'm gonna go to Vegas and I'm not gonna gamble at all. I like that. I don't know if that sounds like crazy or not, but that's what's going to happen. I care so little about gambling. I really do. Like I am not. I do not have a lot of disposable income to just be throwing around. Uh, Beargron, also, do you know about the Omega Mart by any chance?
The Omega Mart. I do not.
Damn it. That's okay. It's It's going to be in the same complex as the Omega Mart, the Halloween Horror Night stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've seen this.
Okay, yeah. So the Omega Mart, like to begin with, I think was probably the biggest thing to me where it's like, damn, that looks really cool. Like I could potentially plan a trip just based on that. But I mean, like at this point, screw it. Like the Omega Mart and Halloween Horror Nights in the same complex, I can plan a weekend trip. Just do that because the Omega Mart to me looks like an all day thing. It really does.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so I could just plan a weekend trip, like do that, do the Stratosphere, get the credits at Circus Circus, and just kind of be good to go. I really don't care about gambling at all. Slasher Fred is in the comments. He says, "You guys ever watch the original Battlestar Galactica? They used to have a spaceship as part of the tour during the '80s and early '90s. I have not watched Battlestar Galactica, but I do remember that being part of the tour. It wasn't part of the tour when I first went, though. I believe that when I first went, the area of the tour that was Battlestar Galactica had been converted over into the Mummy. All right. And yeah. So, what do you think? First of all, do you think, like, obviously, I think that Vegas is a really good crowd for Halloween Horror Nights. Like, it's honestly one of the things, like, one of the reasons why I prefer something like Scary Farm over Halloween Horror Nights now that I've actually done both
Hmm.
is I think the clientele at Scary Farm is a lot less intensely like frat douche, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Vegas. I went for 3 days, for my friend's bachelor party. And I was miserable. I hated every minute of it.
Oh God.
um, I got to go to the aquarium at Mandalay Bay for like 10 minutes, and that was
Oh
the
my
highlight.
God.
That was the highlight of my weekend.
But you said you're excited about this personally, so do you think this could maybe get you out to Vegas? Oh no, did we lose him? I think we lost him. God damn it.
Hello?
PerGron? Yeah, hey.
Sorry, my mic came unplugged.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I thought we were having that weird ambiguous issue that we can't figure out.
No, I tried to sit up and I ripped the mic out.
Uh-huh. Okay,
But yeah,
Joker says, I'm sorry, really quick, I'm going to
yeah.
read this comment from Jokers. He says, you need to try some Japanese haunted houses. They're wild. I did one last weekend that made us take our shoes off. Jokers, the thing is, I definitely draw the line at physical contact. I will not do a maze where there's a chance at physical contact. That's where I draw the line as far as my anxiety goes. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, so no, this is definitely one of the things that I think would get me back to Vegas. I love haunt. I've never done horror nights. And I've never been to Scary Farm because I've never been to California. But I love local haunted houses. I've put on my own haunted houses for years when I was living with
Mhm.
my parents. So I love haunts, and this is something that I think would be the thing that, like, if I'm ever like, I need to take a long weekend trip, this would definitely be on my list for sure. Because I've heard the storytelling and it looks like it could be a lot of fun. And seeing Universal expand into Vegas is both kind of cool and also kind of terrifying with the fact that D Hulk and Disney Dad just predicted this uh, with the Great
Right,
Movie
right.
Ride game.
um, I don't know. I think it's really cool. I think that Vegas has long since been a destination that kind of needs more theme park representation.
Hmm.
And this is a really good step in that direction. I would be shocked if they didn't follow this up with because they just opened the escape rooms at City Walk too.
Hmm.
So I would be shocked if they didn't do escape rooms at Vegas too.
That would make sense.
But I've never done an escape room. I don't have enough friends to do an escape room.
I was about to say really and like shocked, but now I feel bad about saying that when you followed it up.
No, I just don't. Like all my friends are like I have friends, but they're all scattered like around,
Uh-huh.
around the country. So it's like I never have like three or four of them at the same time.
That was like my weekends in high school. We would go out and just hit all the escape rooms around. And some of them were fun and some of them sucked.
Mhm. I didn't know that Hills Cop 3 used the earthquake stuff at the tram tour. That's really cool. The earthquake stuff in the tram tour is still there from what I know. All right, and yes, Slasher Friend, I know all about Halloween Horror Nights. Trust me, I've done my research into it. I went for the first time this past year, and it was okay. Honestly, it honestly was kind of disappointing to me overall. Like, definitely some highlights, but also I felt like the actual design of the mazes was very repetitive, where it was just like I could tell when the scares were going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I've heard mixed things recently about Horror Nights. It's one of those things that like I want to go just because it's Horror Nights and that it feels like
it's
something.
iconic,
Yeah,
sure,
you got
sure.
to check it off the box. But it's kind of like to me, honestly, it's kind of like a Disney castle park in that it's like just something you kind of gotta do, and it's not something that
Hmm.
gets me super excited. Like
Makes sense. You have to have an express pass. It's like basically unmanageable without an express pass. And even with an express pass, you'll be fucking going at it all night.
I
um,
really hope that this new Vegas one brings in the weekend though, because I really think that was a great theme for a
well, that's another thing to bring up is what do you think is going to be the theme? Because my guess, if I were to predict anything, I would guess that maybe they have it set up in a style of like the horrors of Blumhouse did last year, where it's like two different IPs and they can kind of rotate the IPs.
Mhm.
That would be my guess.
Honestly, I feel like it might be like a black box thing.
Right,
Um,
right, exactly.
yeah, where they just kind of like it's something for like a couple months and then it's something else, or maybe like a year. It's one thing and they change it up or whatever.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
at least that's how I would do it. In something like Vegas, where it's like you always have to be adapting and changing,
Sure, sure.
because nothing can sit in Vegas for very long.
Very true. Very true. There's some terrifying animatronics in Vegas that are straight up just abandoned. I Jenny Nicholson reacted to one on her Patreon. It was delightful. Anyway, so yeah, I'm definitely interested in the Vegas side of things. Like I said, I like because like I said, I do have a friend who lives out there that I have been meaning to go visit. So this, if anything else, will ooh, I didn't even know the Excalibur had a simulator ride. But it's funny that you mentioned the Excalibur slasher, Fred, because that's where they had the animatronic dragon that is now abandoned in a warehouse. But yeah, I definitely think that this is going to be the thing that gets me out to Vegas. Definitely not this year, and I don't even think it's going to be open by this year,
Mhm.
but possibly 2024, 2025.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wish Vegas had at least one like decent sized coaster park.
mhm. It feels like a miss that they don't.
I know.
But yeah, this is the thing that's going to get me back, because the only other thing that I had on my list that I didn't get to see was the Secret Garden, the Siegfried and Roy thing
Oh, right, right,
with
right.
the tigers. I didn't get to see the tigers in my trip,
uh
but I don't know. I can go
I mean,
see
I
tigers.
would think that that would be just the primary reason for you to go, and you would just hang out in the Mirage Gardens and not do anything else.
That's the thing that would bring me back. But like I've worked with tigers, so like it's not one of those things I got to book a trip to go see.
Uh-huh.
It's not like pandas or whale sharks or whatever that are super unique.
Sure, sure, sure. That makes sense. Oh God, have you? you've seen the tiger area at Discovery Kingdom, right?
I've seen pictures. It
Oh,
doesn't look
it's
good.
bad. It's bad.
It's
It's
so
really
sad because,
bad.
like we were talking about, I think after the podcast, but
Uh-huh.
SeaWorld should turn it into a Busch Gardens park.
Absolutely, they should. Absolutely, they should. New Horizon says it's very sad that we can't visit the Father of the Pride filming locations any longer. Oh man. Father of the Pride, that's a show I've kind of been meaning to go back and revisit because I actually just recently got done with a binge of Donkey Kong Country. And that was a ride, man. That was a ride I will never forget. That was an existential meltdown of a show. Okay, so I am looking at this map here. Let's pull up the actual map itself. And I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, let's transition into Texas.
Yes.
So
Okay.
first of all, I mean, I think this is huge for Universal. It would obviously be even bigger if it was like a full blown Universal resort. You know, like a third big major resort with a full Universal park and everything.
Right.
But I still think this is huge. I still think this is like Universal definitively. Like, if Epic Universe wasn't enough of a freaking just gut punch to Disney, it's like, hey, Disney, remember all those people who were saying that they should design a Disney resort in Texas because it's like the midway point between California and Florida? Well, we're going to do it.
Hmm.
I mean, I honestly think it's a power move. You
Absolutely.
were right since I thought you could transition in Texas. Oh dear.
I
Oh
just really,
dear.
I just really quick wanted to talk about what Slasher Fred just said. He called them Sigmund and Freud. Not to pick on you at all, but that is the ultimate Freudian slip, I think.
Oh god. I'm pretty sure he meant that intentionally. I think he's playing
Oh,
around.
that's just, I just thought that was so funny. So
Yeah, I guess.
thank you for the chuckle. Um, but yeah, no, absolutely. Like Texas is the spot. Like if you're gonna put something anywhere else in the US, that's like the one. And this is
Mhm.
definitely like kind of a slap in the face to Disney a little bit.
It really is, man. It really is. I mean, especially when you consider Epic Universe. I mean, Epic
Right.
Universe is just like I don't know. I really hope I'm not just gonna eat crow when Epic Universe opens and it's like, oh shit, it's like DCA 1.0. Okay, great. But no, I don't know. I have a lot of confidence that Epic Universe is gonna just be a freaking tsunami when it comes to the Orlando area. I mean, it's just going to be a cosmic shift.
I mean, when a quarter of the park is themed around an IP that was killed by its own creator.
Oh God, that's the
But
one thing I worry about. Yeah, I know. I get that. I totally do get that.
but yeah, I mean, there's a very strong possibility that Epic Universe just like crushes it, and then Disney is already scrambling. I think they're already like
Mhm.
they fucked up with the D23.
Oh yeah. Oh,
They
big
fucked up
time.
so bad with it. These are things we maybe want to do in the future. I don't know. That was the dumbest thing they could have
They
done.
need to like fucking greenlight that villain's land yesterday
They
if they
do,
want to get any sort of traction.
and they need to
Like that
throw.
villain's land is their ace in the hole. If they really want to go all in with it, that
Yep.
would be the thing that would bring people back. Like I'm glad they're at least aware of that.
Right.
But
And they're like, that's the most far fetched thing we got.
Yup, exactly, exactly. And it's not even non-IP.
No.
I mean, just
Um,
the idea. I mean, obviously, Universal's not going to do anything non-IP either. But like, this is a whole other argument. But like, fuck, man, not non-IP stuff is just dead. It's just dead, and I
no,
hate it.
it kills me. As
That's honestly one of the big reasons why Efteling is kind of like I honestly think at this point Efteling might be even higher on my bucket list than Tokyo Disney is.
hmm uh, yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, I hate, or I don't hate doing projects with IP, but if given the choice, I will avoid
Oh,
IP at
you're
all
really
costs.
gonna love Next Project, man. You're gonna fucking love Next Project.
Nice. But but I would prefer not IP. That's always those are my favorite rides at Disney.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of the reason I don't love Universal. It's that, and I don't like simulator rides, so there's not a whole lot for me to do.
Sure.
Um,
Although they've been getting better at that recently.
oh, they have been. It's just not even that I'm motion sick because I'm not. I don't like them.
Uh-huh.
Like I even like Smuggler's Run, I do it because I did it because I like the idea of flying the Falcon. I
I genuinely think that Smuggler's Run, the queue and the pre-show and everything is better than the actual
oh
ride
yeah, I
itself.
honestly
Uh-huh.
I did it because I got to be the pilot. There were five of us, and I'm like, finally, I get to be the pilot, and I kind of don't need to do it anymore.
Yeah, yeah, right,
Um,
right.
so like just the anything with screens, really, not necessarily simulators. Just like
What about Flight of Passage, though?
Flight of Passage is good in that I I don't love it though.
Mm,
That might be a hot take.
that's
It
a hot
it
take.
I don't hate Flight of
It's
Passage.
okay. I don't love Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, but like any metric, I usually try to get on Flight of Passage.
Uh-huh.
I usually try to get on Universal rides when I'm there, like but none of those are rides that I would put in like my top 10. I'm very much a physical set person,
Uh-huh.
or just like real life environments. Give me a Living with the Land over a Flight of Passage any day of the week.
Slasher Fred, unfortunately, I never did get the chance to go on Back to the Future. By the time I went to Universal, it was already the Simpsons ride, unfortunately.
And I don't know if I was even alive yet.
Oh, jeez. Oh, don't say that. Please don't say
Um,
that. It was
it
2009, PerGron. You
oh,
had to
was
have
it?
been alive.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I I thought it closed in the 90s.
You are not 13 years old,
No,
sir.
I'm not. I'm actually I am a little bit older than that, believe it or not. Um,
God.
no, I straight up thought it closed in the 90s. No, so
No, no, no.
I had just never been to Universal at
Maybe it
before.
closed a little bit earlier in Orlando, but
Mhm.
I definitely know it was 2009 in Hollywood because that was like my graduation trip and that was the big new thing at the time.
Right.
But okay, so speaking of the ET ride, um I have a theory, and I'm basically stealing this from Jenny Nicholson. I
Mhm.
shouldn't say steal. Jenny Nicholson put up a speculation map on Twitter of what she thinks some of this might be.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna base it off of so you see that center building
Yes.
with the clouds?
Yep.
She says, I don't know, ET maybe?
Could be.
I would love it. I like honestly ET, like even though I have been on it a number of times, I
Mhm.
still think it would be something that would draw me to this resort if it did have ET. I mean,
Now,
I think ET is just that good of a ride.
it might this might be a hot take because it's kind of the only dark ride out.
Don't you say it.
If they moved it from Orlando, it
Okay.
it would solve a lot of problems, I think. It would
Oh,
solve their stupid theming issue in that stupid kids land that now ET's like struggling to survive as they're redoing it.
yeah, the better solution to that, I think, if it's feasible, I don't know if it's feasible or not, is to I've heard other people pitch this to move the entrance and exit to Production Central,
Yeah.
which would basically just be the other side of the building.
Yeah.
I don't know. If they move it, like, yeah, if they moved it, that would definitely be reason for me to go here for sure.
Yeah, I never want
Um,
them to close it ever.
uh,
It's my favorite ride there. That and Jurassic Park because of course it is. Um but like those I think it would be a good idea to move it if to solve a couple problems. I don't know.
perhaps. Okay, I definitely think that the area with the flowers is going to be trolls.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't realize what it was until I'm like, "Oh wait, trolls exist, doesn't it?"
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So that's yeah, I would fully agree. I don't know what those little golden things are. The little golden temples, I guess.
I don't know. Um,
Because I
yeah,
don't.
honestly, Trolls is one of the things like I am very worried that the Kid Zone replacement we're going to be getting is Trolls themed.
Mhm.
And I want to like I don't even hate the Trolls IP. I really don't. I actually like it from an aesthetic point of view. Like I especially think the second movie was I don't know, the second movie was watchable. I thought the first movie kind of fell off a cliff once it got past the first act.
Mhm.
But I do really like the aesthetics of it though, kind of the arts and crafts, sort of Yoshi's Crafted World kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. I mean, I hate Trolls solely because I worked in a movie theater when it came out,
Oh God.
and I had to go sit for the last 5 minutes of it waiting to clean, and so that stupid Justin Timberlake song and all of that ruined.
True
But
colors.
I do like it because, on a little personal note, Anna Kendrick, who stars in it famously, was my babysitter.
No way.
Yeah, I got babysat by Anna Kendrick.
What?
Yeah,
That's a fucking story, dude.
yeah, and my dad designed her house.
Oh my
So
god. Oh
yes,
wow. That's crazy.
so I went to see the movie because of my ties to her, but I hate it
Uh
because I had to deal with it.
Monkey's like, what the fuck, PerGron? Okay. New Horizons music says you don't recognize the famous Universal Golden Pagodas.
Of course, how could I forget? That
I think
feels
if
so. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
if anything, I think it might be Kung Fu Panda.
That's what I was thinking. But I was also thinking maybe it's just to appease the Texas market and put in some like cultural appropriation in there
Oh my
somehow.
god. I mean honestly it feels a little small for Kung Fu Panda.
Unless it's just that little Kung Fu Panda like
Oh
3D
wait,
show.
wait. I'm looking closer in it. There's definitely a hedge maze in the middle.
Huh.
So yeah, I don't know. My best guess is it's just part of the Trolls area. It looks like this
Maybe.
Trolls area is going to be like half the park, which honestly I don't necessarily mind because that makes me hopeful that that whatever's replacing Kid Zone is not going to be Trolls.
Yeah.
If they're doing this much investment into Trolls for this park,
Right.
um, I mean, yeah, you could definitely see. Oh wait, you could definitely see some flat rides in the Trolls area. It looks like there's like a one of those like surfboard half pipe coaster things
Mm-hmm.
in the
Looks like
corner.
a an alien swirling saucer type thing
Uh huh. Uh huh.
in the other corner.
But I very much hope for a couple dark rides too. I
Yeah.
think Trolls could lend itself to a really good dark ride.
Yeah, especially like a musical dark ride from that
Uh
second
huh. Uh huh.
the movie that exists and will forever be the first movie to come out in the pandemic.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. It's the hedge maze from the Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald's. Okay. Oh, maybe, yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. I definitely think that's a possibility with the hedge mazes in the background, the forested area.
Could be.
It's interesting. It honestly looks like what might be going on here with this kind of far corner area is it looks like there might be a transition from How to Train Your Dragon into Shrek with the castle walls.
Yeah, like that there's clearly a dragon spinner,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
which maybe is the dragon from Shrek.
Now, keep in mind, obviously, Epic Universe is going to have How to Train Your Dragon. So, if there is How to Train Your Dragon representation, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not that prominent.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it would be super.
That back area looks more. I'm not necessarily talking about the far. I'm talking more about the forest area that's kind of like behind, and maybe that maze too. I don't know. Like that maze area seems a little bit more. A little
There's
bit
also a
more.
there's also a raft ride, it looks like.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That looks like it's a little bit more How to Train Your Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
in style.
That's definitely a Shrek. That's his swamp is the building.
Uh-huh.
Because that's the big stump.
Oh, right. I'm seeing that now. Yeah. Okay.
So the
Okay.
building is definitely Shrek. So I'd imagine that's far, far
You know
away.
what? That whole area could very possibly be Shrek. It is possible. I mean,
Yeah.
Shrek is a big IP, and Shrek is also one of those things where
Ooh,
it. Yeah, go ahead.
is that building a dark ride?
I
Is
would
that a
hope
is
so.
that a
I would
Shrek dark
definitely
ride?
hope so.
That's my hope. And that's either far, far away or Duloc.
I hope it's Duloc.
I want an entire attraction where it's just going through that queue. That should be the maze. None of this hedge maze bullshit.
Oh my
Just
god.
the maze is going through the queue to get into Duloc.
Okay, it looks like I don't really know what the kind of top middle portion looks like. It looks like there's obviously going to be some sort of boat transportation system going around the park.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. But that middle, I don't know, it's interesting because it looks like it's almost kind of like how Epic Universe is designed, where the hub is like almost a quarter of the footprint if you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe even more than half. I don't know. Like, because you have that big lake and fountains right in the center there. You've got the show building that may or may not be ET related with the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have that weird little, you've got the bridge and I don't necessarily know what that whole wooded area with the pinkish trees is.
Yeah, I'd imagine just like an expansion pad where they got just like bathrooms or whatever. It doesn't look like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
much going on there.
But then the big thing I think is Jurassic Park, which
Yes.
let's see, it's Camp Cretaceous. I'm guessing if they are going to do a Jurassic Park land, do you think they would just go full on Camp Cretaceous?
I'd imagine so. I can't imagine that they would do Jurassic Park proper, which wouldn't be, not that it's not kid friendly, but it's kind of not kid friendly.
No, it's really not.
for like a
I mean,
like a
I
kid.
could see them doing like a Triceratops encounter kind of attraction though.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see them doing, the movie where a lawyer gets eaten off a toilet and
Right.
Sam Jackson gets his arm ripped off. Like I don't see that being the theme of their kiddie boutique park.
I don't know. Honestly, I am kind of like it looks like the Jurassic Park area is going to be like mostly flat rides, and I'm guessing kind of a Discovery Center that's pretty similar to the one at Islands of Adventure.
Mm-hmm. There's a coaster back there.
Is there really
A little one? Is that a?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're
like
right.
A little Goofy's Barnstormer type thing.
I mean, it looks like it could. I don't know. The layout looks like it could potentially go into the woods in the back.
Yeah, maybe
that would be like the best case scenario.
Velocicoaster too.
No, but honestly, if they do something like in the style of like on the scale of a Slinky Dog Dash or something, that'd be. I mean, I think that'd be a valuable addition.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do think this park should have one standout coaster that is, obviously not too intense that young kids couldn't do it, but intense enough that it would draw a thrill seeker crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the weird park thing in the middle, or not the middle, but kind of like what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Literally, all Jenny has for that is just all this is just a park.
Let's see. What are some of Universal's famous park IPs?
Oh my god. A troll in Central Park? Is that Universal?
Could be. Nope.
I mean, obviously Jurassic Park, but
right. Yeah, that's the Jurassic Park.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's not.
So yeah, I mean, going through it all, I'd be lying if I said that this looked spectacular as far as the lineup goes. I mean, it definitely does look like it's a lot of flat rides.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if they even have like, let's say, 3 really solid dark rides, I mean, I would be tempted to check it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's in Austin, which is it's gonna get foot or not in Austin, but right outside of Austin,
Mhm.
which is gonna get lots of foot traffic. So maybe this is testing for a potential expansion. Maybe they're like, is there a market here for this? It's just weird that they would test with a boutique park,
Yeah,
like
but I mean,
a kiddie
boutique
boutique
parks,
park.
boutique parks are something that, like, I feel like the armchair Imagineering community, like, we always talk about them. So it's really cool to see one actually getting made,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
under such a high profile company too.
Right. Yeah, I just worry a little bit about the it's for little kid or not for or it's for families geared towards kids. So I feel like if they were trying to be like, hey, is there a market in Texas for this? I feel like this wouldn't be the way to go.
Right, right. I hear you on that.
Until we
Um,
see October roll around and they do horror nights here. And
oh my God, that'd be crazy.
it's the scariest horror nights ever.
Yes,
It's all
yes.
it's just terrifying. Just
And it's actually like one of those extreme haunts where you have to sign a waiver and they physically fuck with you.
yeah, they give it to the guy who tortures people.
Oh my God. McCamey Manor, you
Yeah,
mean?
McCamey
Oh my
Manor.
God. Yes, yes. Could you imagine if that dude got his hands on a theme park? Oh, good
Oh,
Christ.
this theme park. This is the one. I'm predicting it now. Jenny Nicholson has nothing on me. I'm the real theme park predictor.
Oh my God. Okay, I think that's about it. Do you have any other like spots on the map that you have any predictions on or anything like that?
No, I genuinely don't know what that park thing's gonna be. So I'm curious what that would be.
I'm very much guessing it is literally just a park.
They should like theme it to something,
Secret
like anything. Just be like, all right, here's our playground section for I don't know.
Life of Pets, maybe? That
Yeah,
takes place in New York.
that's true. Uh, yeah, see, that would be a good one. McCamey Manor takes over ET.
Oh my God.
Just everyone saying "ouch" the whole time.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Yeah, I can't wait for the troll in Central Parkland. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see Troll. The this is just a whole troll park. I think
Oh my God.
it's just all trolls. Shrek's an ogre, but that's kind of troll adjacent.
We need Troll 2.
Troll 2. Maybe we're misreading Jurassic Park.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's Troll 2.
Okay, I think that's about enough speculating.
Yeah.
All right, well, folks, like I said, I don't really think we're gonna do generic theme park news show as a regular thing at all because I just don't really want to force topics that we don't have a ton to say about. But with this specific situation and others like it, like for example, maybe I don't know, I'm starting to feel like a rollout of attractions for Epic Universe, some sort of announcement of that is right around the corner. So, maybe we'll definitely be keeping tabs on stuff, but just we don't necessarily want to be talking about stuff that we can't fill up a whole half hour with.
Yeah.
All right. Jurassic Park is obviously a misdirect for We're Back, a Dinosaur Story. Okay, well, thanks so much for coming on, PerGron.
Absolutely.
And I'd like to thank New Horizons Music, Slasher Fred, Itchy Lot Productions, and Monkey for being in the comments. Have a good night, everyone.
See you later.